So I have a feeling there's a whole hell of a lot more going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about yet. If you recall, the other day, Garland put out a memo. It was probably the same memo where he said, DOJ officials and FBI are not to speak to members of Congress. Trump went off saying, oh, they're trying to stifle whistleblowers. Well, that's not how whistleblowing works in the first place, so that's irrelevant. But something else that came out very shortly after is one of the lawyers for the Proud Boys just got charged with conspiracy. She's cooperating. She turned over all of her electronic devices. She turned over all of her communications. To charge a lawyer with conspiracy is a big fucking deal because of the privileged nature of communications between a lawyer and a client. That is a big fucking deal. Now, who is she giving information about and who is she conspiring with? Roger Stone, Alex Jones, and Mark Meadows. That's a big fucking deal. That's Trump's inner circle. And all three of those were known to be in contact with members of Congress on January 6th. So I don't think the whole thing about don't talk to Congress is necessarily about Trump specifically. I don't think it's about classified documents specifically. But it's been very clear for a long time now that the DOJ is investigating members of Congress for their role in January 6th. So you can't really protect an investigation if you're investigating members of Congress and your investigators are talking to those same members of Congress. You can't really protect your investigation. You can't really run a competent investigation if your employees are talking to the very people that they're investigating. And I think that has a lot more to do with it than anything related to Trump specifically, or at least related to these classified documents specifically. But it's very clear that there were people within the Trump administration and even Trump himself talking to some of these members of Congress and coordinating with some of these members of Congress. So even talking to those members of Congress about what's going on with the classified documents investigation, it's pretty much guaranteed that that's going to get back to Trump. So yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. There's several different aspects to this and several different angles. And when you're dealing with somebody like a president, when you're dealing with somebody with that kind of access and those kind of connections and everything going on, all the different things that were going on at that time, you have to kind of sequester all of it because there is a big nexus there, which is Donald Trump, and all of those different aspects are going to overlap. And so you kind of just have to put a wall between the